If you've been carrying stress into the night, if your body has been holding it, even when your mind has been doing everything it can to set it down, this is for you. There's something worth knowing before we begin. Something that may help you understand why the stress has been so persistent, why the body stays tense even after the day is done, why the shoulders are still elevated and the jaw is still held and the chest is still bracing, even though there is nothing specifically left to brace against. The reason is not that you are doing something wrong. The reason is that stress doesn't actually leave when the stressor does. It stays in the body, in the muscles, in the specific, below the awareness holding pattern that the nervous system has been maintaining long after the situation that caused the stress has passed. The stress response is ancient. It is built for short bursts, for genuine physical threat, for real danger, for the kind of emergency that our ancestors faced and then resolved through physical action. Run, fight, survive, and then rest. The modern stress does not resolve that way. The modern stress arrives in meetings and inboxes and conversations and the accumulation of small, daily, never quite finished demands. It arrives without physical resolution. It arrives and then it stays, because the body does not know how to release what it never physically expressed. So the stress has been building, not dramatically, quietly, in the held jaw, in the tight shoulders, in the chest that has not fully expanded in longer than you have probably noticed, in the belly that has been bracing, in the breath that has been a little too short for a little too long. This is not a character flaw. This is not a failure of stress management or self-care or all the practical approaches you have probably tried. This is the honest physiological state of a body that has been receiving stress signals faster than it has been able to release them. The good news is, the release is available. Tonight, we are making it available through the rainfall, through the breath, through the specific devoted attention of a session built to locate the places where the stress has been living in your body and invite them, one by one, to let go. The rainfall is already here. The steady, patient, going to continue through every remaining hour quality of the rain that has been falling since the session began. The sound that the human nervous system has been recognizing as the signal of the safe night for as long as humans have been sheltering from the weather. The rain outside the shelter has always meant the day is done, the warmth is here, the body can finally release. Your nervous system carries this recognition, not as a thought you can think, as a deeper knowing, the kind that lives in the oldest parts of the body, the parts that respond before the mind has had a chance to assess. When the rainfall is present, the body begins responding, even now, even in these first minutes, even before the session has given it specific permission. The body is already beginning. Let your eyes close, if they haven't already, and take one slow breath with me, a simple one, letting the chest rise gently as the air arrives, and then, without forcing anything, letting the breath go, letting the exhale travel a little further than the stress has been allowing it to travel, letting the belly soften, letting the breath find its own natural, unhurried end. You have permission to release now. You have permission to rest. The rainfall is here. The stress can be carried by the rain tonight. Not all of it, not forever, just for these hours. The body is already beginning to do what the body has always known how to do when the right conditions are finally present. Release what it has been holding. Rest. We begin now. Let me tell you something about the stress that has been living in your body. Not in a clinical way, in a way that may help you understand why it has been so persistent, and why the rainfall, specifically, is one of the most direct available pathways to the release that the stress body has been needing. The stress response has a name. You may have heard it: fight or flight. When the nervous system detects a threat, real or perceived, physical or emotional, acute or chronic, it activates. The sympathetic nervous system engages. Cortisol and adrenaline flood the body. The heart rate increases. The breath becomes shallow and fast. The muscles prepare for action. The whole body shifts into the mode of readiness. the mode of the body that is about to do something about whatever is happening. This is the stress response, and it is remarkable. When it is needed, when there is genuine danger, when the situation calls for alertness and action, the stress response is one of the most sophisticated and powerful biological systems available to the human body. It has kept every generation of every human who has ever lived alive through situations that required exactly this kind of immediate, total, whole-body mobilization, but it was designed for short bursts. The problem is not the stress response itself. The problem is duration. The problem is that the modern nervous system has been running a version of this response, not at full intensity, but at a low, chronic, persistent level, for so long that the body has stopped recognizing it as a temporary state. It has become the background, the default, the way the body feels on an ordinary day. The shoulders held, the jaw slightly tight, the breath never quite reaching the belly, the chest never quite fully expanding, the specific, steady, below the awareness tension of the body that has been in the stress response for so long it has forgotten what the alternative feels like. This is held stress, and held stress is different from the kind of stress that arrives and departs in a single day. Held stress is the accumulation, the layer upon layer of stress responses that were activated and never fully completed, each one leaving a small residue in the body, a slightly elevated baseline, a slightly held muscle group, a slightly constricted breath, until the accumulation has become the ordinary state. Tonight we are attending to the accumulation, not all of it, not permanently. Tonight, in these hours, through the rainfall and the breath, and the specific, devoted attention of this session, we are providing the body with the conditions it needs to begin releasing what it has been holding. The conditions are specific. The body releases held stress when it receives certain signals from the environment. The signal that says the threat is not present. The signal that says the readiness can step down. The signal that says there is nothing left to be ready for tonight, and the rest can begin. The rainfall is one of those signals, not because someone decided rain is relaxing, because the human nervous system has been evolving alongside the sound of steady, patient rainfall for so long that the body recognizes this sound as one of the oldest available signals of the safe night. The rain falling consistently means the storm is not building. The rain falling steadily means the environment is stable. The rain falling through the dark means the shelter is holding and the body can finally do what it has been waiting to do, release. Take a slow breath now, a simple one, letting the chest rise gently, and with the exhale, long and complete and unhurried, notice something specific, not the absence of stress, the slight quieting of it, the first small, honest degree of the body responding to the rainfall and the permission that tonight is providing, even fractionally, even by the small, attending to the body degree that a few minutes of the rainfall and a few complete breaths have already produced. That fraction is real. It is the body beginning to release, the nervous system receiving the signal it has been waiting for, the held stress beginning, very gradually, one breath at a time, to do what held stress has always been able to do when the conditions are right. Let go. Let me tell you why the rainfall, specifically, not white noise, not a fan, not the generic ambient sound that plays in the waiting room. The rainfall, the specific, steady, patient sound of rain falling consistently through the night. The way rain falls when it has all night to fall and nowhere else to be. There is something about this particular sound, something the body recognizes in a way it does not recognize most other available sounds. Something that goes deeper than the analytical mind's assessment of whether the sound is pleasant or calming or appropriate. Something that bypasses the assessment entirely and reaches directly into the oldest, most responsive parts of the nervous system. Part of the reason is acoustic. Rainfall has a specific quality that researchers describe as pink noise. The sound energy is distributed gently and evenly across all the frequencies the human ear can detect, not concentrated at any single pitch, not absent at any single pitch, simply present across all of them in a sustained, balanced way. The brain receives this kind of acoustic environment as the signal of a stable world. Nothing is changing, nothing is building towards something alarming. The acoustic environment is consistent, and a consistent acoustic environment is one the nervous system does not need to monitor. The monitoring can stop. And when the monitoring stops, even fractionally, even for the brief moments between the thoughts, the stress response begins to step down. The body begins to release what it has been holding for the next alarm that the consistent rainfall keeps not providing. But there is also something deeper than the acoustic explanation. The human body evolved sleeping through rain. For every generation of every human nervous system that has ever existed, the sound of steady rainfall at night has meant something specific and important. It has meant shelter is present. It has meant the night is not escalating into something dangerous. It has meant, in the wordless, ancient, deeper-than-thought way that the body knows things, that the conditions for rest are here. Your nervous system carries this, not as a memory, as a recognition, the immediate, below-the-awareness body-level recognition that the rainfall triggers in a nervous system that has been waiting through every ordinary anxious day for this particular signal. Let the rainfall reach you now, not by listening harder, not by analyzing the sound or assessing whether you are receiving it correctly, simply by allowing it to be the primary thing in the room, the sound that is underneath the words, the sound that will be here through every remaining section of tonight long, after the guidance has stepped back and the sleep has arrived. Let it be the background that the awareness rests against. Notice if anything has begun to soften already. The shoulders, perhaps, slightly lower than when you first lay down. The jaw, softer by a small degree. The breath, fractionally slower. The chest, opening just a little more easily than it was at the beginning of tonight. These are the first signs. The body responding to the rainfall. The held stress beginning very gently, very gradually, to receive the signal it has been waiting for. This is the foundation. Everything else tonight will build from here. The body scan that will locate where the stress has been living. The breathing practice that will directly invite the release. The deep rainfall that will accompany the deepest available rest, and the sleep that will follow. Different from the ordinary stressed evening's ordinary sleep, because it will begin from a body that has been given the conditions for genuine release. All of that is ahead. For now, just the rainfall. Just the sound that the nervous system recognizes as the signal of the safe night. Just this body, on this surface, with this breath, in this rain, beginning. Before we move into the deeper work of tonight, let me tell you what we will be doing together. Not a rigid structure, a gentle shape, so the body can settle into the session without the mind needing to track what comes next. We have already begun. The rainfall is here. The body is beginning to respond. The first gentle degree of the release has already started. This is the foundation we will build from. From here, we will move into the body itself. A body scan, not the generic one that simply moves from the toes to the head without particular attention to where the stress has actually been living. A body scan that goes to the specific places, the jaw, the shoulders, the chest, the belly, the hands, the back of the neck, the places that the stress body uses as its primary storage locations, the places where the held stress most reliably accumulates and most rarely receives the devoted attention that would invite it to release. We will move through these places together, slowly, with care, giving each one the kind of specific, warm, unhurried attention that held stress has been waiting for. Then we will work with the breath, not a complicated technique, a simple one. The long, complete exhale, the specific breathing pattern that directly signals the nervous system that the stress response can step down. The breath the body produces when it is genuinely, completely not bracing for anything at rest. We will find this breath together. The rainfall will pace it for us. Then the deeper rest will arrive, the further softening, the state in which the nervous system has released enough of what it has been holding that the body can access the deeper sleep stages more fully. The restorative sleep that chronic stress so frequently disrupts, the sleep tonight is building toward restoring. And from there, the sleep itself, with the rainfall continuing through every remaining hour, with the nervous system continuing its release, with the body resting in the state of genuine, accumulated, one breath at a time restoration. You will not have to make any of this happen. You only have to stay, and staying tonight is simple. It is breathing with the rain, letting the exhale complete, allowing the rainfall to be the primary thing in the awareness when the words are not present, returning gently to the rain whenever the mind wanders, and minds do wander, especially stressed ones, and that is not a problem. If a thought arrives, and they will arrive, the thoughts the day left behind, the things still on the list, the tomorrow that the stressed mind has already begun preparing for. Simply let the thought become a drop. Let it find its way into the rainfall and be carried wherever the rain carries things. The rainfall has been carrying human stress for as long as humans have had it. It can carry yours. And underneath all the thoughts, underneath even the deepest held stress, the rainfall is here, steady, patient, providing the ancient signal. The body is here, faithfully ready to respond to the conditions it has been needing. The release is here, waiting for the conditions that will make it possible. That is tonight's invitation, not to eliminate stress from your life, not to solve everything the day left unresolved, not to produce the perfect rest, simply to be here, to breathe with the rain, to allow the body to begin releasing what it has been holding, to receive, for these hours, the rest that the stressed nervous system has been needing. The rainfall is steady, the body is responding, and we begin the deeper work now. There is something specific about the stressed body that deserves to be named, because the stressed body settles differently from the simply tired body. And if you have ever wondered why lying down at the end of a hard day does not automatically bring the rest you hoped it would, why the body remains alert even after the circumstances that caused the stress have passed, there is a real reason. The stressed body is not just tired, it is also held. The muscles that have been bracing are still bracing. The breath that has been shallow is still shallow. The nervous system that has been running its activation is still running it, at a lower level perhaps, but running it nonetheless, because activation does not simply step down because the day has ended. It steps down when the conditions tell it to step down. And the conditions of the ordinary, stressed, lie down and try to sleep evening are often not sufficient. The body needs more than the absence of the stressor. It needs the presence of the signal, the specific, cumulative, nervous system recognizable signal that says not just that the stressor is gone, but that the safety is here, the warmth is here, the shelter is here, the conditions for genuine release are present. The rainfall is that signal. The breath that completes is that signal. The body that is fully held by the surface beneath it is that signal. The devoted attention of a session that is specifically working with the places where the stress has been living is that signal. These conditions, together, give the stressed body what it has been needing, but the settling takes a little longer than the ordinary settling. This is worth knowing, because if you have ever felt frustrated with your own body for not relaxing as quickly as it seems like it should, that frustration has been misplaced. Your body is not failing. It is doing exactly what a stressed body does when it has not yet received enough of the conditions it needs. It is being honest about what it requires. It is waiting, faithfully, patiently, for the right signal. Tonight we are providing the signal, and the body, given enough time, and enough rainfall, and enough complete breaths, and enough patient attention, will respond. Not immediately, gradually, the way soil absorbs water after a long dry period, not all at once, but continuously, accepting what arrives, softening degree by degree. So if the body has not fully released yet, that is fine. That is expected. The release is happening even if it does not feel dramatic. The nervous system is responding even if you cannot feel the response yet. The body is moving toward the rest state even when it still feels somewhat held. Trust this. Or, if trust feels like too much to ask right now, simply suspend the assessment. Don't decide yet whether anything is working. Simply stay. Let the rainfall continue. Let the breath continue. Let the body continue receiving what it is receiving. The body does not require your belief to release. It simply requires the conditions, and the conditions are here. Take a slow breath now, a simple one, letting the chest rise gently as the breath arrives, and with the exhale, long, complete, unhurried, notice if anything has shifted, even fractionally, even in the smallest, most honest, attending to the body way. Maybe the shoulders are not quite as elevated as they were when you first lay down. Maybe the jaw has softened by a small degree. Maybe the breath is moving with a little more ease than it was a few minutes ago. These small shifts are real. They are the body responding to the conditions tonight is providing. Not dramatic, genuine, the honest beginning stage degree of the release that the stressed nervous system accomplishes when the right conditions are present. The release is beginning. The rainfall is doing something specific now. It has been here since the very beginning of tonight, present, steady, falling consistently through the awareness. But as the body begins to settle and the breath finds its slower rhythm, the rainfall becomes something more than a sound in the background. It becomes the primary thing, the acoustic environment that the awareness rests against, the sound that fills the space between the words and remains when the words have passed. The rainfall as the most consistent, most reliable, most patient presence in the room, present underneath everything else. Let it become primary now, not by focusing on it intensely, by allowing it to expand in the awareness, by letting the rainfall be the largest available sensory experience in this moment, larger than the thoughts the day left behind, larger than the body's remaining tensions, larger than the awareness's natural drift. The rainfall is the largest thing in the room right now, and something specific is happening because of it. The nervous system that has been monitoring for change, for the next sound that requires attention, for the variation that signals something new is happening, has been able to begin stepping down its monitoring because the rainfall is not changing. There is nothing to track. The sound is consistent. The acoustic environment is reliable. And a reliable acoustic environment is one the stressed nervous system can finally stop listening to quite so carefully. The body recognizes this, and in that recognition, something releases. The sympathetic activation that has been maintaining the stress state begins to step back, not because it has been forced to, because the conditions no longer require it to be running at the level it has been running at. The rainfall is creating the conditions. You don't have to do anything with the sound. You don't have to listen in a particular way or maintain any specific quality of attention toward it. The rainfall is doing its work, whether you are tracking it consciously or not. The nervous system is responding, whether you are aware of the response or not. Simply allow the rainfall to be present. And as it fills the awareness, let your breath begin to find the rain's patient rhythm, not by counting, not by forcing the breath into a specific pattern, by allowing the breath to drift toward the rainfall's pace, the way a leaf drifts toward the current, naturally, without effort, simply by being present in the sound, the exhale especially. The rainfall has an exhale-like quality, long, sustained, patient, continuing without urgency. When your breath finds this quality, something specific happens in the nervous system. The signal of the body that is genuinely at rest begins to be sent, the signal that says the activation can step further down. Let the next exhale be like the rain, long, complete, unhurried, traveling all the way to its natural end without stopping early. The belly softening as the breath departs, the chest releasing its expansion, the whole breath cycle completing fully, and at the bottom of the exhale, rest there for the natural moment. the brief, quiet stillness before the next breath arrives, the lungs at their most empty, the body in the specific, momentary pause of the breath that is fully completed. The rainfall is in that stillness. The nervous system is receiving the signal in that stillness. The stress response is stepping back, breath by breath, in that stillness. Now, gently, give the full weight of your body to the surface beneath you, not just some of it, all of it. The weight of the head, the weight of the shoulders, the weight of the arms and the hands, the weight of the back, the weight of the hips and the legs and the feet. Every part of the body that has been holding itself in any small degree of readiness. Let that readiness release downward into the surface that has been waiting to receive it. You have been holding yourself together for a long time. The stressed body knows this kind of holding intimately. The specific, below the awareness, never quite fully released quality of the body that has been ready for the next thing through every ordinary day. The body that has been managing, quietly, faithfully, without complaint, the accumulated weight of the stress that has been building. Tonight the surface holds you. Let that be true right now, not as an idea, as a physical reality. The surface beneath you, whatever it is, wherever you are tonight, is fully capable of holding everything you have been holding. It has been doing the work of holding since the moment you arrived. It will continue doing it through every remaining hour of tonight. You don't have to help it. So let the body grow heavier now, beginning wherever feels most natural. Perhaps the feet that have been carrying you through every step of every ordinary day. Simply notice them. Let the weight of them settle more fully into the surface beneath them. Let them release the small, residual, ready-to-move quality that the stressed body maintains, even when lying down. Let the heaviness travel slowly upward, through the legs, which can soften now, through the hips, which can release, through the lower back, the part of the body where so much held stress quietly accumulates, often without your awareness until you attend to it directly. Let the lower back release toward the surface now, not by pressing it down, by letting the muscles that have been maintaining their quiet holding simply stop, by letting the back become heavy, by letting the surface receive what the back has been carrying. The belly next, the belly that has been holding the stressed breath, the belly that has been a little tight, a little contracted, a little less willing to fully participate in the breath than it would be if the nervous system were fully at rest. Invite it to soften with the next exhale. Let the belly rise and then soften completely, the diaphragm moving fully, the breath traveling to its natural end. The belly participating in the exhale the way it would participate if no stress were present at all. This is the breath of the released body. Let the shoulders settle. These deserve a specific moment. The shoulders that have been elevated by a small but constant degree. The shoulders that have been carrying not just weight, but the specific posture-level expression of the stress state. The braced, slightly raised, ready for whatever quality of the shoulders that has been the default. Let them fall now. With the next exhale, let the shoulders release away from the ears. Let them fall toward the surface. Let them find the lowest, most released position available to them, without any effort to maintain them there. The full weight of the body in the surface, the full breath in the body, the full rainfall in the awareness, and the stressed body becoming, gradually and genuinely, the body that is fully resting. Take a moment now to notice what has changed, not to measure it precisely or confirm it at a specific level, simply to notice the honest, attending to the body difference between the body that arrived at the beginning of tonight and the body that is here right now. The breath. When the session began, the breath had the quality of the stressed body's breath, higher in the chest, shorter in its completion. The kind of breath the nervous system produces when it is running its activation, functional, adequate, but not the full, belly-deep, completely releasing breath that the body produces when it is genuinely at rest. The breath right now is different, slower, perhaps, more complete in the exhale. The belly participating more naturally, the pause at the bottom of the breath more available than it was. Each cycle, a little more like the breath the body produces when it has been given permission to release. This change is real. It is not imagined. It is not the result of you trying to breathe correctly. It is the honest physiological response of the breath to the rainfall, to the body's settling, to the gradual release that the conditions have been creating. The body. When the session began, the body had the quality of the stressed body's holding. The shoulders elevated by a small degree, the jaw maintaining its quiet engagement, the hands not quite fully open, the whole body in the specific, ready for the next thing posture of the stressed nervous system. The body right now is different. The shoulders lower than they were, the jaw softer, the hands beginning to open, the whole body more fully given to the surface beneath it than it was at the beginning of tonight. This change is also real. It is the nervous system responding. It is the stress response stepping down. It is the honest, gradual, one breath at a time shift from the stress state toward the rest state that the body has been needing for longer than the ordinary evening's ordinary settling has been able to provide. This is the foundation of the deeper work ahead. Everything else tonight, the body scan through the specific places where the stress has been living, the breathing practice that invites the direct release, the deep rainfall, the honoring of what you have been carrying, the sleep that follows, will build from this foundation. The foundation is here. Trust this. You don't have to perform any particular state. You don't have to be more relaxed than you are. Simply continue what you have been doing, being here, breathing with the rain, allowing the body to receive what is being received. The release will continue. The rainfall will continue, and we will move next into the body itself, into the specific places where the stress has been living and waiting for this kind of devoted attention. For now, just rest in what has already happened. The breath slower than when you arrived, the shoulders lower, the jaw softer, the body more deeply held, the stressed body beginning genuinely to release. These are not small things. They are the beginning of what tonight has been built to provide. Let your awareness travel now to the jaw. The jaw is where we begin. Not because it is the most important place, though it is one of them, but because the jaw is one of the most honest places in the body. The jaw tells the truth about the nervous system state in a way that few other places do. When the jaw is held, the body is in the stress state. When the jaw is genuinely released, something specific shifts across the entire system. Bring your awareness here now. The jaw, the area of the face that includes the chin, the hinges on either side where the jaw meets the skull, the muscles that extend up toward the cheekbones and back toward the ears, the whole territory of the jaw. Notice what you find. In the stressed person, and you are a stressed person, you arrived tonight as one, and that is precisely why this session exists. The jaw carries something specific, the held together quality, the teeth that are not quite parted, the muscles that have been working, small but constant, often completely below the level of conscious awareness through every hour of the keeping it together that the stressed life requires. You may not have known the jaw was held until you brought awareness here. That is very common. The jaw holds so quietly for so long that the holding stops registering. It becomes the baseline, the ordinary way the face feels. The body has stopped flagging it because flagging it would require energy, and the stressed system does not have energy to spare for things that have become the background. But the holding has been there, and it has been costing something. The jaw muscles are among the most energy-intensive muscles in the human body when they are constantly engaged. The held jaw is a constant, low-level drain on the system, one that the stressed body has been paying without knowing it. Tonight we are giving the jaw permission to stop. With the next exhale, long, complete, traveling all the way to its natural end, invite the jaw to soften. Let the teeth part very slightly, not dramatically, just enough that the upper and lower teeth are no longer in contact. just enough that the muscles that have been holding them together can begin to release. Let the tongue find its natural resting place, soft in the mouth, not pressed against the roof of the mouth, which is where the stressed tongue tends to live, pressed upward in the specific, bracing, ready for speech posture of the body that has been managing its expression all day, soft, resting, lying gently on the floor of the mouth, the jaw releasing further with each exhale. The muscles on either side of the face, the masseter muscles, the ones that run from the cheekbones down to the jawline, the ones that are the primary holders of the jaw's chronic tension, inviting them to soften now, not by pressing them, by releasing the tone they have been maintaining. Let the jaw drop just fractionally. Let the whole face soften around it, the cheeks, the muscles around the mouth, the area below the nose, the whole lower face, becoming softer and more private and more resting than it has been through the ordinary stress day. Notice the difference. The jaw softer than it was a moment ago, the face more private, the energy that has been going into the holding beginning to return to the system. This is what release feels like in the jaw, small, real, attending to the body, genuine. Let it continue with each exhale, the jaw releasing, the face softening, the rainfall in every breath, the stress in the jaw being given the conditions it has been waiting for, the permission finally to let go. Let the awareness travel upward now into the shoulders. The shoulders are the other great holder. If the jaw holds quietly, invisibly, the shoulders hold more obviously, though often so chronically that they too stop registering as held. The shoulders that have been elevated by a small, constant degree. The shoulders that have been carrying the stressed body's posture through every meeting, every commute, every screen, every conversation that required composure. Bring your awareness here now, the whole shoulder region, the tops of the shoulders, where the trapezius muscles run from the base of the skull out toward the arms. The area between the shoulder blades, where so much stress quietly settles. The front of the shoulders, the place that rounds forward when the body has been hunched over a screen or bracing against the world. Notice what you find. In the stressed body, the shoulders are rarely in their natural, released position. They have been elevated, not dramatically, but by that specific, small, constant degree that is the postural expression of the stress state. The body in fight or flight raises its shoulders slightly. It is part of the readiness posture, the body making itself slightly more protected, slightly more braced, slightly more prepared for whatever might come. The modern stress body has been in this posture for so long, it has become the ordinary posture. Invite the shoulders to release now. With the next long exhale, let the shoulders fall, not by pressing them down or directing them into a correct position, by simply releasing the tone that has been keeping them elevated, by letting gravity do what gravity has been waiting to do through every hour that the shoulders have been holding themselves up. Let them fall toward the surface. Let them find the lowest position available to them without any effort to keep them there. Let them become as heavy and settled as the rest of the body has been becoming through this session. The muscles across the top of the shoulders softening. The muscles between the shoulder blades releasing. The whole shoulder region sinking, degree by degree, with each complete exhale. Now let the awareness travel down the arms that have been reaching and typing and carrying and managing through every ordinary day. The forearms, the wrists, the hands. The hands carry stress in a particular way. The stressed hand is rarely fully open. It is held in a subtle readiness, not a fist, nothing so dramatic, but not the fully open, fully surrendered position of the hand that is completely at rest. The fingers slightly curved, the palm not quite fully open. The hand maintaining a small, constant, below the awareness readiness for the next thing it will be required to hold. Let the hands open now. With the next exhale, let the fingers uncurl. Let the palms open toward the ceiling or toward whatever surface they are resting against. Let the hands find their most open, most released, most finished with the day position, and let them stay there. soft, open, empty. The hands that have been holding everything, finally holding nothing. The shoulders settled, the arms soft, the hands open. The stress in the upper body being given the conditions it has been waiting for. The permission, finally, to set down what it has been carrying. Let the awareness rest now in the chest. This is one of the most important places. The chest is where the stress lives most directly in the breath, where the shallow, stress state breathing has been keeping the breath small and high and away from the deeper, fuller, belly-reaching breath that the genuinely rested body produces, where the bracing has been most constant and most rarely acknowledged. The chest of the stressed person has been doing something specific. It has been tight, not dramatically, subtly. The specific, small, sustained constriction of the chest that the stress response produces. The chest that has not been fully expanding on the inhale. The chest that has been holding its expansion slightly, even on the exhale. The chest that has been operating in a slightly reduced range, breath by breath, day after day, because the stress state does not allow the chest to fully open. The fully open chest is the chest of the body that is not afraid. The stressed body has not been fully opening. Invite the chest to open now. With the next inhale, let it be a little fuller than usual. Let the ribs lift gently. Let the chest expand in every direction, not just upward but outward. The sides of the chest opening, the space between the ribs widening slightly as the lungs fill more completely. And with the exhale, let the chest soften completely, not collapsing, releasing. The specific, deliberate, you have permission release of the chest that has been held, the chest that has been bracing against the next thing being given. Finally, the signal that the next thing does not require bracing for tonight. Take another breath like this. The chest opening on the inhale, the chest softening completely on the exhale, the breath finding the fuller range that the body has been capable of all along, but has not been permitted to use through the ordinary stress day. Notice how this feels, the chest more open than it was a few minutes ago, the breath moving through more space, the specific attending to the body quality of a chest that is beginning to release what it has been holding, not all of it, not yet, but genuinely, by the honest degree that several complete breaths have produced. The stress in the chest is real. It has been there for longer than today. It has been accumulating, breath by restricted breath, through the ordinary days of the stressed life. And tonight, through these specific, fuller, more complete breaths, it is being invited to begin releasing. Let another breath come, full on the inhale, complete on the exhale. The chest participating more fully than the stress has been allowing it to participate. The chest is opening. The stress in the chest is releasing, breath by breath, drop of rain by drop of rain. The way genuine release happens, not all at once, but continuously, in small real degrees, until the accumulated holding has become the accumulated release. Let the awareness travel down now into the belly. The belly holds stress in its own particular way. The belly of the stressed person is rarely soft. It is held, the specific, subtle, chronic contraction of the abdominal muscles that is both the expression and the maintenance of the stress state. The belly that has been tight for so long that the tightness has stopped registering. The belly that has been participating in the breath only partially. The diaphragm not descending fully, because the held belly does not leave room for the full descent. Bring your awareness here now, the whole abdomen, from just below the ribs all the way down to the pelvis, the territory that includes the stomach, the intestines, the deep core muscles that have been maintaining their quiet, constant, unacknowledged holding. Notice what you find. Is there tightness here? Some residual bracing that hasn't yet released? A quality of heldness that the belly has been carrying through the ordinary days? There usually is. No judgment, simply noticing. And with the next breath, let the belly breathe. This is the most direct available release for the stressed belly. The breath that allows the diaphragm to descend fully, pushing the contents of the belly downward and outward. allowing the belly to rise and expand on the inhale in the way that only the fully released belly can. Let the inhale come now, and let the belly rise, not the chest, the belly, the lower abdomen expanding outward as the diaphragm descends, the breath traveling all the way down into the lowest available part of the lungs, the body breathing the way it breathes when it is deeply at rest, and nothing in the system is requiring the belly to stay contracted. This kind of breath is the direct signal. The belly breathing fully sends a specific message to the nervous system, the message that the stress response can step further down. The body that is breathing this way is not a body that is bracing. The nervous system registers this and responds accordingly. Take another belly breath, the belly rising, the diaphragm descending, the breath traveling deep, and the exhale, long, complete, patient, the belly softening as the breath leaves, the diaphragm rising back up, the breath traveling all the way to the natural end, and then the pause, the brief, quiet moment when the breath has genuinely finished and the next inhale has not yet arrived. Let the belly be completely soft in this pause. Let the whole abdomen rest in the space between the breaths. Notice how the belly feels after several of these complete cycles, softer than it was, more released, the chronic holding beginning to give way to the genuine rest that the belly has been capable of all along but has not been permitted to express. The belly is releasing. The stress that has been living here, the held, accumulated, below the awareness stress of the stressed life, is beginning, breath by breath, to release into the rainfall. Let it continue. Now take in the full body simultaneously, from the jaw down through the shoulders, through the chest, all the way into the belly, the whole body in your awareness at once, the jaw, soft and private, the teeth parted by a small degree, the muscles that have been holding the jaw released into their most rested available state, the shoulders lower than they were at the beginning of the session, the muscles across the top of the shoulders soft, the area between the shoulder blades settling, the whole shoulder region in the released, fallen, no longer maintaining the stress posture state, the arms heavy and soft, the hands open, the palms receiving the surface they are resting against, the fingers uncurled, the hands that have been holding everything finally holding nothing, the chest opening, more fully than it has been opening through the ordinary stress days, the ribs lifting more freely on the inhale, the chest softening more completely on the exhale, the breath using more of its available range, the belly soft, fully participating in the breath, the diaphragm descending without restriction, the deep belly breath that is both the expression and the cause of the genuine rest state, the whole body held by the surface, heavier than when the session began, more fully released. This is what the body looks like when it has been given the conditions to release held stress. Not all the way, not completely, genuinely, by the honest, accumulated, one area at a time degree that the body scan has produced through careful, devoted attention to each holding place in turn. This is real. The jaw really has softened. The shoulders really have fallen. The chest really has opened. The belly really is breathing more fully. Take a slow breath now through the entire body, letting the inhale travel all the way from the nostrils, through the throat, through the chest, and down into the belly. The whole pathway receiving the breath, the whole body participating, and the exhale from the belly, through the chest, through the throat, long, complete, patient. Notice the body after this exhale, more settled than before the breath, more released, each complete breath building on the release of the last one, each exhale carrying a small additional portion of the held stress into the rainfall that continues steadily, patiently, through every moment of tonight. The body scan is complete for now. The specific places where the stress has been living have been tended to. The jaw, the shoulders, the chest, the belly, all of them given the devoted attention that held stress has been waiting for. All of them responding. The stress is releasing, not all of it, genuinely, by the honest, session proportional degree that this body scan has been able to produce. This is the foundation for the breathing practice ahead, a body that has already begun releasing, is a body that will respond more fully to the direct breathing technique that activates the rest state most completely. We move there now. I want to tell you something about the breath now, something specific, something that the stressed body has been waiting to know, not as information, but as the direct body-level experience of what the right breath actually does. The long, complete exhale is the most direct available pathway to releasing held stress that the human body has access to. Not the deep inhale, not the breath hold, not the complicated patterns that some practices teach. The simple, long, complete exhale, the breath you take when you have truly finished with something and are setting it down. This is worth knowing because it means the most powerful available tool for releasing the stress your body has been holding is something you already have, something you have been doing every moment of your life, something that requires no equipment, no training, no special environment, no particular expertise. The breath you are already breathing, slightly extended, slightly more complete, slightly more fully released, is the most direct stress release tool available to you. Here is why. When you exhale completely, the lungs reach their most empty state. The diaphragm rises to its highest position, and in that specific moment, something happens in the nervous system. Receptors in the lungs and the airways send a signal to the brainstem, the ancient, deepest part of the brain that runs the basic functions of the body. The signal is simple. The body is in the position of rest, not preparing for anything, not bracing, not holding readiness, at rest. The brainstem receives this signal and responds by increasing the activity of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, the system that is the direct opposite of the stress response. The heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, the digestive system receives more circulation, the muscles release more completely. The stress response steps further down. Each long, complete exhale sends this signal again and again. The more complete exhales the body experiences in succession, the more accumulated signal the parasympathetic nervous system receives. The more the parasympathetic system is engaged, the further the stress response steps down. The further the stress response steps down, the more the held stress can release. This is the direct pathway. The exhale is not incidentally calming. It is physiologically, mechanically, specifically the signal that tells the stressed nervous system the thing you have been bracing for is not here. The readiness can step down, the release can begin. Tonight we are going to use this pathway directly, not as a rigid technique, as an invitation, as the most direct available way to activate the release and deepen everything the body scan has already begun. The rainfall has been pacing your breath throughout the session. The body has been finding its slower, more complete rhythm, but now we are going to bring specific attention to the exhale, the part of the breath that does the most direct stress release work, and we are going to let it complete more fully than the stressed breath has been allowing. You don't need to do anything complicated. You only need to allow each exhale to travel a little further than it would normally travel, to complete more fully, to inhabit the natural pause at the bottom for the brief moment that exists when the breath has genuinely finished. This is what we will practice now. Take a slow breath in, not deep, slow, letting the chest rise gently, letting the belly expand, letting the air fill the lungs without effort. And now, the exhale, long, complete, patient, the stress releasing with every drop of rain. Let's breathe together now, gently, without counting, with the rainfall providing the pace, and the body providing the rhythm, and the exhale doing the work it has always known how to do. Begin with a slow, natural inhale, the breath arriving on its own pace, the chest rising gently, the belly expanding, the air filling the lungs without effort or direction, and the exhale, long, complete, patient, letting the breath travel out slowly, letting the lungs release their full content, the belly softening completely, the chest releasing, the exhale finding its own natural end somewhere beyond where the stressed breath usually stops, and at the very end, the natural pause, the brief stillness when the breath has genuinely finished, the lungs at their most empty, the body in the specific, quiet moment before the next inhale arrives, the stress releasing in that pause, the nervous system receiving the signal in that pause. Then, when you are ready, the next inhale, arriving when the body calls for it, slow, natural, the breath returning when the body is genuinely ready. Let's do another. The inhale slowly, the chest rising gently, the belly expanding, and the exhale, long and complete, traveling further than the ordinary breath, the lungs emptying fully, the belly softening completely. The pause at the bottom, the stressed nervous system receiving, in this pause, the direct signal it has been needing, the signal that says the stress response can step further down now, the held tension can release a little more, the body is genuinely not bracing for anything. The next inhale, when the body is ready. Let's continue this rhythm for several breaths now, the inhale arriving on its own pace, the exhale long and complete and patient, the natural pause at the bottom, inhabited briefly, the next inhale arriving when the body calls for it, the rainfall pacing us throughout, each exhale finding the rainfall's patient rhythm, each pause inhabited by the steady sound of the rain. Notice what is happening as we continue. The shoulders are softer than they were at the beginning of the chapter. The chest is opening more easily. The jaw has released a small additional degree. The whole nervous system shifting further away from the stress state with every long exhale. This is the direct release happening in real time. You don't have to imagine it. You can sense it directly by attending to the body, by noticing how each long exhale produces a small, real, attending to the body shift toward the rest state. Each exhale is a step further into the release. Continue breathing this way now. The inhale slow and natural. The exhale long and complete. The pause at the bottom inhabited briefly. The next inhale arriving when the body is ready. If at any point your mind drifts, and minds drift, especially stressed ones, and that is not a problem, simply return to the breath. Return to the exhale. Return to the long, complete release that is the most direct invitation to the rest state. The breath will always be here. The rainfall will always be here. The release will always be available. Let's take a few more long, complete breaths together. Inhale slowly. Exhale long and complete. Pause at the bottom. Inhale slowly. Exhale long and complete. Pause at the bottom. The stress releasing with each exhale. The rest arriving with each pause. Continue this on your own now, at your own pace, without counting, without forcing. Simply allowing the breath to find its longest, most complete, most releasing expression. Over and over again, for as long as feels nourishing. The rainfall will accompany every breath. The nervous system will continue releasing with every long exhale. The body will continue settling deeper into the rest state with every cycle. The stress your body has been holding is releasing now, breath by breath, drop by drop. Notice what has happened in the past several minutes through nothing more than the long, complete exhale, repeated slowly with the rainfall pacing each breath. Something specific has shifted. The heart is slower than it was at the beginning of the chapter. You may not need to measure this to know it. Simply attending to the chest, to the quality of the heartbeat, to the rhythm that is present underneath everything else. You can sense the slight settling, the pace that is more relaxed, the rhythm that is more like the resting heart and less like the activated heart. This is the parasympathetic system doing its work. The long exhale has been directly engaging the parasympathetic nervous system with every cycle. The heart has been responding. The shift from the slightly faster stress state rhythm to the slower, calmer rhythm is one of the most attending to the body confirmable signs that the stress response is stepping down. It is stepping down right now. The shoulders are lower than they were, by the honest, real degree that the complete exhales have produced. The shoulders that have been carrying the stressed body's quiet readiness released further with each exhale that has signaled the nervous system to step the activation down. The chest is more open, the jaw is softer, the belly is breathing more fully, the whole body moving in the same direction, toward the rest state, away from the stress state, breath by breath, with each long exhale doing its direct, physiologically real work. And underneath all of these specific shifts, the held stress is quieter than it was at the beginning of the chapter. This is the most important thing to attend to right now. Not whether all the stress is gone. It may not be gone. It may still be present in some form, but quieter, yes. By the honest, real, attending to the body degree that the breathing practice has produced. This quietness is real. It is not a distraction. It is not the temporary comfort of being in a comfortable position. It is the genuine physiological consequence of the parasympathetic nervous system being engaged through the most direct available pathway, the long, complete exhale, repeated patiently, paced by the rainfall. The body is releasing what it has been holding. You are allowing this. Through the body scan that tended to the specific holding places, through the long, complete exhales that have been engaging the rest response directly, through the rainfall that has been providing the consistent, nervous system recognized signal of the safe night, through the patient, devoted attention of a session that was built around the held stress and is doing what it set out to do. This is real. Let yourself trust that for a moment. The shift you are noticing is real. The settling is genuine. The stress quieting is the honest physiological response of the body to the conditions tonight has provided. You don't have to question whether it is working. The body is telling you. The slower heart, the softer shoulders, the fuller breath, the quieter mind, the whole nervous system in a more released state than it has been at most points of the ordinary stress day. These are the markers. The release is happening. The rest state is more fully reached now than it has been at any point since the session began. Not perfectly, not at the maximum theoretical level. Honestly, at the level the session's accumulated work has produced, which is more fully reached than most ordinary stressed evenings allow, which is the genuine stress release that tonight has been building. Take a moment to notice the state you are in right now. The body is heavier than it was at the beginning of tonight. The chest is more open. The belly is softer. The breath is slower and more complete. The heart is at a calmer pace. The shoulders are lower. The jaw is softer. The hands are open. The mind is quieter than it was at the beginning of tonight. The thoughts are arriving with more space between them. The urgency that the stress thoughts usually carry has lessened. The internal monitoring has settled into a quieter version of itself. The awareness is more present in the body and less consumed by the running commentary. The held stress is quieter than it was at the beginning of tonight. This is real. This is the most important shift to acknowledge. The held stress that arrived with you at the start of this session is in a quieter state right now than it was when you first lay down. By the honest, real, attending to the body degree that the session has produced. This quieting is the release the session was built around, not a complete cure, not the elimination of stress from your life. The genuine, real, physiologically honest release of the nervous system that has been needing this kind of conditions. The honest shift toward the rest state that the stressed body has been needing for longer than the ordinary evenings have been able to provide. This is enough for tonight. This is exactly what was needed. You can return to this breath. In the coming days, when the stress arrives, and it may arrive, because this is one session and the stress patterns of the ordinary life are persistent, you can return to this breath, long, complete, patient, the breath that directly engages the rest response, the breath you have practiced tonight and that the body now knows how to find. You have learned something tonight, not just rested, learned the breath, the way the body responds to the long, complete exhale, the specific places where your stress has been living, and what it feels like when those places begin to release. This learning will stay with you. This is the portable gift of tonight. For now, simply rest in what has been built, the rest state more fully reached than it has been, the stress quieter than it was, the body in genuine release. The deeper rainfall is ahead. the most complete available immersion in the rain sound, the deepening of everything that has already been built. The rainfall will accompany every remaining moment. The body will continue releasing in the state that the session has built. And the deep sleep, the sleep that the engaged rest response makes most available, is approaching gently. For now, just breathe. Let the long exhale continue. Let the rainfall be the primary sound. The rest is unfolding. Notice every quality of the rainfall now, not just the sound. The rain has more than one quality available to the awareness. The sound is the primary one, but there are others. The sense of the steady presence, the feeling of being surrounded by the rainfall, the awareness of the rain as a continuous, patient, going to continue presence in the room. Notice the steadiness first. The rainfall does not pause. It does not stop and start. It does not vary in dramatic ways. It continues, the same patient, sustained, moderate rainfall, falling consistently, the way the rain falls when it has all night and is in no hurry. This steadiness itself is doing something for the nervous system. The nervous system that has been monitoring for change has been able to settle in the rainfall's presence because the rainfall is not changing. There is nothing to monitor. The sound is consistent. The acoustic environment is reliable. The stressed nervous system responds directly to this kind of consistency. When the environment is unpredictable, the stress response cannot fully step down. The body remains slightly alert, slightly ready, slightly bracing for whatever might come next. When the environment is steady, really steady, sustained, reliable, the nervous system can fully engage the rest response. The stress can release more completely. The rainfall has been providing this steadiness throughout the session, and the nervous system has been responding. Notice the surround quality next. The rainfall is not coming from one direction. It is everywhere, above, around, in every available acoustic place, not as a directional sound, but as the total available acoustic environment. This surround quality also matters. When sound is directional, the brain tracks it, locates it, evaluates it, considers what it might mean. When sound is omnidirectional, when it is simply the environment, the brain stops tracking, the auditory monitoring relaxes. The stress response receives this relaxation as another signal that the system can settle further. Notice the patience of the rain. The rainfall is not in a hurry. It is not building toward anything. It is not threatening to stop. It has the quality of something that has been doing what it is doing for a long time and will continue doing it for a long time. This patience is a gift to the stressed nervous system. The stressed nervous system has been moving quickly, anticipating, preparing, tracking what comes next. The patient quality of the rainfall is the opposite of this. The rainfall does not anticipate. It does not prepare. It simply continues being itself, patient and present and reliable. When the stressed nervous system is in the presence of this patience, it begins to slow, not all at once, continuously, in small, unmeasurable degrees. The rainfall's patience teaching the nervous system, breath by breath, that nothing requires its monitoring, that the next moment will be like this moment. The stress your body has been holding is taking in all of this, every aspect of the rainfall. The steadiness, the surround, the patience is contributing to the release. The nervous system is more fully in the rest state than it has been at any point in the session. Take a slow breath now. Let the inhale come on its own pace. Let the exhale travel its full natural length. Let the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. This is what the deep rainfall feels like. This is what the deep stress release feels like. Not dramatic, genuine. The honest, real, attending to the body experience of the nervous system in the rest state more fully than the ordinary stressed evenings allow. You are here. The rest state is fully engaged right now. Not at a low level, not partially, fully, at the most engaged available state for the body that has accumulated everything tonight has provided. The body scan through the specific holding places, the long, complete exhales, the deep rainfall as the consistent acoustic environment. all of it together producing the most fully engaged rest state available in this session. You may be able to sense the difference, the whole body in a state that feels different from the body that arrived at the beginning of tonight. The chest more open, the belly more soft, the heart at its slowest available pace, the breath at its most complete, the shoulders fully released, the face entirely private. This is what the rest state produces in the body, and it is here right now. The parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, digest, and recover system that is the direct opposite of the stress response, is at its most engaged available level for the session. The sympathetic side, the activation, the readiness, the alertness that has been the background of the ordinary stress days, is at its most quiet. This shift is real. The body in this state is doing things it cannot do in the stress state. The digestive system is processing more efficiently. The immune system is doing its repair work. The cardiovascular system is in its calmest available rhythm. The mind is in its most diffuse available state, the thoughts further apart, the urgency lower, the awareness more present in the body. All of this is the gift of the fully engaged rest response. And it is happening now, not because you have performed correctly, because you have allowed, because you have stayed in the session, because you have given the nervous system the conditions it has been waiting for, the rainfall, the breath, the body scan, the patient attention. The body has done the rest. This is worth pausing to acknowledge. You have just done something that the stressed nervous system has been waiting for you to do. You have given it the conditions for the rest response to fully engage. You have allowed it to do the work it has always known how to do. The body is now in the state that the rest response produces, the state in which the deep restoration the body has been needing can actually occur. Take a slow breath now, a complete one, long, patient, the exhale traveling its full natural length, the pause at the bottom inhabited briefly. This breath is different from the breath that arrived at the beginning of tonight. It is the breath of the released body. It is the breath of the resting nervous system. It is the breath the body produces when it has been given the conditions to release fully. You can return to this breath. In the coming days, when the stress builds, and it may build, you can find your way back to this breath. The body now knows what this breath feels like. The body has experienced the long, complete exhale that engages the rest response. The body has felt the genuine release. This experience stays. The next time you return to this breath, you will get there a little faster. The nervous system learns. The more often you provide it with the conditions for genuine release, the more readily it will release when the conditions are present. This is the longer-term work that tonight has begun. Tonight is the foundation. The body has experienced the genuine rest state. The mind has experienced the stress quiet. The system has experienced the deep release that the rest response makes possible. For now, simply rest in what has been built. The rest state fully engaged, the rainfall continuing through every breath, the body in the deepest available state of release for the session. This is the deep stress release that the session promised. This is what tonight was built for, and you are here. There is nothing more for you to do tonight. This is worth saying clearly. The work of the session is complete. The rest response has been engaged. The stress has quieted. The body is in the deep restorative state that the rainfall and the breath and the patient attention have all been working toward. What remains now is the receiving. Receiving, for the stressed person, is often unfamiliar. The stressed life tends to be the doing life, the managing life, the keeping up with life. The receiving end is the end where you place other people, not yourself. You provide, you manage, you keep the things running. The receiving end has been waiting. Tonight you are on the receiving end. The rainfall is providing. The rest response is providing. The body is providing its own ancient intelligence doing the work of restoration without your conscious involvement. Your only task right now is to allow this, to let the receiving happen without doing anything to make it happen. This is the simplest task there is. and it is also sometimes the hardest. The stressed mind wants to help. It wants to direct. It wants to ensure the receiving is happening correctly. It wants to monitor whether the release is deep enough or the breath is doing its work properly. None of that is needed. The receiving is happening. The rest is occurring. The release is real. The body is restoring. All of this without your monitoring or directing or assessing. Let yourself simply be in this. If a thought comes, and they may come, let it pass. You don't need to address it. The rainfall can carry it. The thought can come and the thought can go. The rainfall will be here when it has gone. The rest response will continue its work, whether the thought is present or not. The thoughts are not the problem. They have never been the problem. The stress thoughts are just the surface expression of a nervous system that has not been receiving the conditions it needs to fully release. Tonight the conditions have been provided. The rest response has engaged. The thoughts may continue to arrive, not because something is wrong, but because minds do this, but they no longer carry the same urgency. They no longer demand the same response. Let them be there. Let them not be there. The rainfall is here either way. The rest response is continuing either way. The body is releasing either way. You don't have to manage any of it. Take a slow breath now. Long, complete, patient. Letting the exhale travel all the way to its natural end. Letting the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. Letting the next inhale arrive when the body is ready. This is enough, more than enough. The rest response is here in this breath. The rainfall is here in this breath. The deep release is here in this breath. You don't have to reach for any of it. You don't have to perform the receiving correctly. You don't have to be anyone other than the person who is here, breathing slowly, with the rainfall present and the rest response engaged. This is enough. You are enough. The session is enough. The rainfall and the body have arrived at the same quality now, both steady, both at rest, both doing what they came to do without requiring anything from anyone in return. The rainfall continues, patient, sustained, going to fall through every remaining hour of the night with the same quiet consistency it has maintained since the session began. The body has settled into the same kind of presence, no longer reaching for anything, no longer monitoring, simply here, in the way the rain is simply here. This is the configuration the session has been building, the rainfall and the body in the same quality, the rest response engaged, the breath finding its slow, complete rhythm without your direction, and the stress, wherever it began the session, is at its quietest available level for the night. This is real. You don't have to confirm it through analysis. Simply attend to the body and notice. The shoulders no longer carrying the held quality, the chest that is open, the belly that is soft, the breath that completes without effort, the mind that arrives with more space between thoughts than at the beginning of the session. All of this is the rest response at work. The rest response engaged through the body scan along the specific holding places. The rest response engaged through the long, complete exhales. The rest response engaged through the deep, sustained, consistent rainfall. All of this together has produced the state you are in right now. Take a slow breath, a complete one, letting the inhale arrive at its own pace, letting the exhale travel all the way to its natural end, letting the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. This breath is doing the work. Each one is a continuation of what the session has built. Each one is another signal to the nervous system. Each one is another small confirmation that the rest state is here. You don't have to direct any of this. The breath is finding its own rhythm. The nervous system is doing its own work. The body is settling into its own deeper rest, all of it without your effort. Notice the warmth that has been gathering in the body throughout the session, not the warmth of the external environment, the warmth that comes from inside, the warmth of the circulation that returns when the stress response has stepped back and the rest response has been reached. The hands warm, the feet warm, the face warm, the interior of the body in a state of gentle, comfortable warmth that has been quietly accumulating throughout the session. This is one of the most reliable signs of the genuine rest state. The body's circulation has been restored to the places it was being kept slightly away from when the stress response was running higher. The interior warmth you can sense right now is the body in the rest state, expressed physically. Notice the heaviness. The body has become genuinely heavy, not the heaviness of exhaustion, the heaviness of the body that has fully given its weight to the surface beneath it, the body that is no longer holding any small degree of postural readiness. This heaviness is the rest response's gift, the release of the muscles that have been quietly holding, the settling of the body into the support that has been waiting to receive it. The rainfall continues. The body is heavy and warm and held. The rest response is engaged. The deep rest is here. Take a moment now to notice what has changed, not to measure it precisely, simply to acknowledge, honestly, gently, the difference between the body that arrived at the beginning of tonight and the body that is here right now, the breath. When the session began, the breath was higher in the chest, shorter in its completion, slightly held, the breath of the stressed body, the breath the nervous system produces when it is running its activation. The breath right now is different, slower, more complete in the exhale, the belly fully participating, the pause at the bottom genuinely inhabited. This is the breath of the engaged rest response, the breath the body produces when the genuine release has been reached. This change is real. You did not perform it. You did not produce it through effort. The breath has shifted because the conditions have shifted. The nervous system has moved from the stress state toward the rest state, and the breath, which always reflects the nervous system state, has moved with it, the body. When the session began, the body had the held quality, the shoulders elevated by a small degree, the jaw maintaining its quiet engagement, the whole body in the specific, ready for the next thing posture of the stressed nervous system. The body right now is different, the shoulders lower than they were, the jaw soft, the face entirely private, the hands open, the feet warm, the whole body more fully given to the surface beneath it. The interior warmth gathered throughout, the genuine, complete heaviness of the body that has been allowed to rest fully. This change is also real. It is the rest response, doing what the rest response does when it has been given the conditions to do its work. The body responding to the engaged parasympathetic system, the release expressing itself in every observable physical detail. The mind. When the session began, the mind was busier, the thoughts arriving more quickly, with less space, with more urgency, with the specific stress quality monitoring of the activated nervous system. The mind right now is different, quieter, the thoughts arriving with more space, the urgency lower, the internal monitoring at its most settled available level for the session, the awareness more present in the body and less consumed by the running commentary of the stress thinking. This change is real too. The mind reflects the nervous system. When the rest response is engaged, the mind quiets, not through any effort to make it quiet, but as the natural consequence of the underlying physiological shift, the stress. This is the most important shift to acknowledge. The stress that arrived with you at the beginning of tonight, whatever quality, whatever intensity, is in a quieter state right now than it was when you first lay down, by the honest, real, attending to the body degree that the entire session has produced. The direction is real. The stress is moving toward quieter, not louder. The rest response is moving toward more engaged, not less. The body is moving toward more release, not less. These are the markers that confirm the session is doing what it was built to do. The deep stress release is real. The Rainfall sleep hypnosis has done what it was meant to do. You can trust this. Let yourself rest now in the full landscape of where you are. Not one thing at a time, everything together. The whole experience of being here, in this body, on this surface, with this breath, in this rainfall, with this fully engaged rest response, and this quiet, released state. The rainfall is the largest thing in the room, in every direction. The steady, sustained, going to continue through every remaining hour quality of the rain falling consistently through the awareness. The acoustic environment is the rainfall, and only the rainfall. There is nothing else competing for the awareness's attention, just the rain, present everywhere, doing what it has been doing throughout the session, providing the consistent nervous system recognized signal of the safe night. The body is held within this rainfall, heavy, warm, completely supported by the surface beneath. Every part of the body that has been tended to throughout the session, the jaw, the shoulders, the chest, the belly, the arms, the hands, the legs, the feet, all of it in its most released available state for the session. The breath is moving naturally. You don't have to direct it anymore. The body has found its slow, complete rhythm. The exhale travels its natural length. The pause at the bottom is inhabited briefly. The next inhale arrives when the body calls for it. All of it without your effort. All of it the breath of the engaged rest response. The rest state is fully reached. The stress is at its quietest available level for the night. The mind is in its most diffused, most spacious available state for the session. All of this together is the landscape. This is what the deep rest looks like for the stressed person, for the body that has been holding what it has been holding, for the nervous system that has been running its activation for too long. The deep rest is not the absence of everything. It is the presence of all of these things at once. The rainfall, the held body, the slow breath, the engaged rest response, the quieter mind. You are inside this landscape now. Simply allow yourself to be here, not by maintaining any particular awareness, not by tracking any specific element. The landscape is here whether you are tracking it or not. The rainfall continues, the rest response continues, the body continues, the breath continues. You can let your awareness be diffuse. You can let it drift gently across the landscape, touching the rainfall, touching the warmth in the body, touching the slow breath, touching nothing in particular. There is no correct way to be in this landscape. Whatever quality of awareness arrives is welcome. If your mind wanders, and it may, that is fine. Wherever it goes, the rainfall will be here when it returns. Wherever it goes, the rest response will continue its work. Wherever it goes, the body will remain in the deep release. The landscape is stable. It does not require your maintenance. Take a slow breath now, a complete one, letting the breath move through the landscape, letting the inhale arrive on its own pace, letting the exhale travel its full length, letting the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. The breath in the landscape, the rest response in the landscape, the rainfall in the landscape, the body in the landscape, all of it together, all of it at rest, all of it continuing. This is the deep state the session has been building toward. You are here now. There is nowhere else to go tonight. There is nothing else to do tonight. This is the destination. The mind may have one more question. If it does, that is fine. The stressed mind has been monitoring throughout the session. It has been checking. Is this working? Is the stress actually releasing? Is the rest real, or is it imagined? These are honest questions. They deserve an honest answer. Here is the answer. Look at the breath. Is it slower and more complete than when the session began? If you attend to the breath honestly, not performing the slower breath, simply noticing what the breath is actually doing right now, you can confirm this. The breath is slower. The exhale travels further. The belly participates more fully. This change is real. Look at the body. Is it heavier and warmer than when the session began? The interior warmth that has been gathering, the complete weight given to the surface, the shoulders lower, the jaw softer, the hands open. All of this is attending to the body confirmable. Look at the stress. Is it quieter than when the session began? Maybe a little, maybe more than a little. The amount is less important than the direction. The direction is real. The stress has moved toward quieter by the honest, real, rest response produced degree that the session has been able to provide. These changes are not imagined. They are the genuine physiological consequence of the rest response being engaged through the most direct available pathways, the body scan, the long, complete exhale, the steady, consistent rainfall. The session is working, has been working throughout. The mind can rest now, not because it has been suppressed, because it has asked the questions it needed to ask and received the honest answers. The session is working, the rest response has been engaged, the stress has quieted. The mind can step back into the rainfall now, into the sound that has been here through every breath, into the steady, patient, continuing quality of the rain, into the acoustic environment that has been the constant companion of every section of tonight. The rainfall is enough for the mind to rest in, without analysis, without monitoring, without the assessing function the stressed mind has been so practiced at running. Just the rain, just the steady, going to continue, patient sound of the rainfall. If a thought comes, let it come. If it goes, let it go. The rainfall will be here either way. Rest in the rainfall. The rest response will continue its work without the mind's involvement. The body will continue its release without the mind's involvement. The deep state the session has built will continue. The mind has done its work. It can now do the simplest available thing, be in the rainfall. Take a slow breath, the mind in the breath, the mind in the rainfall, the mind in the deep, restful state that the session has built. There is nothing else for the mind to do tonight. The session is complete in its essential work. The stress is quieter. The body is in the rest state. The deep release is real. The mind is at peace now. The body is at peace. And the rainfall is here, through every breath, through every moment of the deep rest, through every remaining hour of the night. I want to say something honestly now, something that the stressed person rarely hears named, partly because the people around the stressed person often don't see it, and partly because the stressed person has gotten so used to carrying it that they have stopped naming it themselves. What you have been carrying has been costing you something, not in the dramatic, visible way of the public crisis, in the quieter way, the way that happens underneath the appearance of the person who is functioning, who is showing up, who is keeping the things running. The cost has been real. It has lived in the body, in the chronically elevated shoulders, in the jaw that has been held for so long it stopped registering, in the chest that has been bracing, in the belly that has been contracted, in the breath that has been a little too short for a little too long, in the sleep that has been less restorative than the tired body has needed, because the stressed nervous system has been running its activation through the night and preventing the deep sleep stages from being fully reached. All of this has been the cost, not because you have done anything wrong. The stress has not been a moral failure or a character flaw or a sign that you are not managing well enough. The stress has been the honest physiological response of a nervous system that has been asked to carry more than it has been given the conditions to release. The conditions have been missing. Not forever. Tonight we are providing them. But the cost that accumulated before tonight, the years of held jaw and elevated shoulders and restricted breath and disrupted sleep, that cost was real, and it deserves to be acknowledged before the session moves into its final sections. The acknowledgement matters. The stressed person rarely receives the kind of acknowledgement that names the actual cost of the actual carrying. They receive suggestions to reduce their schedule, to practice self-care, to worry less. The suggestions are well-meaning, but they tend to miss the deeper thing. The deeper thing is the witnessing, the specific, devoted, accurate acknowledgement of what the stressed life has actually been costing the stressed body, and the stressed breath, and the stressed heart, and the stressed sleep, and the stressed mind. The acknowledgement that the cost has been real, that the carrying has been real, that what the stressed person has been doing, quietly, faithfully, often without recognition, has been more than ordinary functioning. Tonight you are being witnessed by the rainfall, by the session, by the part of you that has known what you have been carrying and has been waiting for someone to see it accurately. This is for you, specifically. The cost you have been carrying matters. The stress you have been managing matters. The way the nervous system has been struggling matters. All of it has been real, and tonight all of it is being addressed, not just intellectually, but physiologically, through the actual engagement of the actual rest response that has been needing these conditions. Take a slow breath now, a complete one. Let the exhale travel its natural length. Let the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. Let yourself feel, for just this breath, the truth of what you have been carrying, not to dwell on it, not to make it heavier than it needs to be, simply to acknowledge it, to let the witnessing land, to let the rainfall and the rest response and the entire session reach the part of you that has been waiting to be acknowledged. The cost has been real. The carrying has been real. What you have been doing, quietly, faithfully, through every ordinary stress day, has deserved this kind of attention for longer than it has been receiving it. Tonight you are receiving it. Something becomes available when the rest response has been engaged as fully as it has been engaged tonight. Something that may have been quietly absent from the ordinary stress days. Something that the chronic stress has been displacing. Something that the body knows how to be when the rest state is genuinely reached, but that has been less available because the conditions for the genuine reach have been less available. Tonight, for these hours, it is available. Notice the quality of awareness right now. It is more present than the awareness of the ordinary stress day, less divided, less consumed by the running monitoring, less occupied with the next thing, the future thing, the thing that needs to be tracked or managed or planned for. There is more of you here, in this moment, in this body, in this breath, in this rainfall. The awareness has gathered itself back into the present moment because the rest state allows the gathering, the stress activation that has been pulling the awareness in many directions at once has stepped back, and what remains is the awareness that is simply here. This quality of presence is real. Notice the quality of breath. It is the breath of a body that is not bracing, the breath that arrives when the diaphragm is allowed to descend fully, the breath that completes because nothing is requiring it to be controlled against the next moment's demand. This is your specific natural breath, not the breath that has been required of you by the stressed life. The breath your body produces when nothing is being demanded of it. The breath that has always been available underneath the controlled, stressed breath that the activated state produces. It is here now. Notice the quality of the body. It is the body underneath the stress, the body that has been there the entire time, beneath the bracing, beneath the readiness, beneath the vigilance the stressed nervous system maintains, the body that knows how to be at rest, the body that is not the same as the stressed body, though it has been wearing the stressed body's surface for so long that the distinction may have become unclear. The distinction is here now, the body underneath, the body that is fully held by the surface, the body that has the warmth of the returning circulation, the body that breathes naturally without monitoring its own breath. This body has always been here. It has been there the whole time, waiting underneath the stress, patient, available, ready to express itself when the conditions allowed. Tonight, the conditions have allowed. You are meeting yourself, in some sense, in a state that may have been less available than you remembered. The state of the body that is not managing anything, the state of the breath that is not held, the state of the awareness that is fully here. This is also yours, not just the stressed version. This calmer, more present, more bodily version is also you. It has been here the whole time, waiting for the conditions that would allow it to be the dominant expression rather than the displaced one. Tonight, for these hours, it is the dominant expression. Take a slow breath now. This breath is being taken by the body underneath, by the version of you that has been quieter than the stress has allowed, by the part of you that the rest response has made more available. Notice this version. Notice how it feels to be in this body. Notice how it feels to breathe this breath. Notice how it feels to have the awareness gathered into this present moment, with the rainfall continuing, with the rest response doing its work. This version of you is real, and it will be here for you to return to. The stress will return because the patterns of the stressed life are persistent, but you have experienced this state tonight. The body knows what it feels like. The breath has practiced the long, complete exhale. The awareness has practiced being fully here. This experience changes things. You are taking this with you. I want to say something directly to you now, to the specific person who arrived here tonight, carrying stress in your body and your nervous system and your specific, real, faithfully functioning life. What you have been doing has been more than people may realize, living with the kind of stress that lives in the body, that maintains the chronic low-level activation through every ordinary day, that keeps the jaw held and the shoulders elevated and the breath restricted even through the hours that should be rest, is harder than the people around you may understand. It is harder than you may sometimes give yourself credit for. You have been doing it, faithfully, continuously, through every ordinary day, showing up, functioning, being the person other people experience as managing fine, while the stress has been there underneath all of it. This has been costing you something: energy, resilience, the deeper rest that the chronically stressed body cannot fully access, the full breath that the activated nervous system cannot fully support, the complete presence that the divided awareness cannot fully provide. The cost has been real. And what you have been doing, continuing to function, continuing to show up, continuing to be the person who manages the stress alongside everything else, has been a kind of quiet, daily, unrecognized work. I want to acknowledge that work. The session sees it. The rainfall sees it. The part of you that has been quietly aware of the cost and has not had a place to bring that awareness until tonight, that part is being acknowledged now. You may not have thought of yourself as doing anything particularly worth recognizing. The stressed person rarely does. The stressed person tends to think of the stress as a problem to be solved, a weakness to be overcome, a thing they should be handling better. The stressed person tends to be harder on themselves than anyone else would be. I want to gently disagree with that assessment. What you have been doing has been worth recognizing. The patient, daily, often invisible work of carrying the stress while still showing up. The faithful continuation of your ordinary responsibilities while the nervous system has been struggling and the rest state has been less available than it should be. That has not been small. And tonight, through every section of this session, you are receiving the kind of attention that the work has deserved. The body scan that tended to the specific holding places with care. The breathing practice that worked directly with the nervous system to engage the rest response more fully than the ordinary days have allowed. The rainfall that has been providing the steady, patient, nervous system recognized signal. All of this has been a form of devoted attention, the kind of attention that the stressed person rarely receives, the kind that recognizes the stress not as a failure, but as the honest physiological state of a nervous system that has been carrying more than it has been able to release. This recognition matters. It matters more than you might realize. The stressed person who has been carrying without acknowledgement cannot be fully restored without the acknowledgement. The technique and the practice can only do so much. The witnessing, the specific, devoted recognition of the cost of the actual carrying reaches places the technique cannot reach. You are being witnessed tonight. Let this land. The cost has been real. The carrying has been real. What you have been doing has deserved this kind of attention for longer than it has been receiving it. Tonight you are receiving it. The rainfall continues. The rest response continues its work. The body continues its release. And the part of you that has been carrying the stress without acknowledgement is being acknowledged through every drop of the rain, through every breath, through every moment of the deep, restful state that has been built specifically for you. The sleep is very close now. You may already sense it. The quality of the awareness that is no longer fully in the waking state. The thoughts that arrive with longer spaces between them. The images that have begun to form in the spaces where the directed thinking used to be. The specific, gentle, drifting quality of the awareness that knows it is approaching the threshold. Let it approach. You don't need to reach for it. You don't need to perform the correct quality of crossing or ensure that the sleep arrives at the right moment in the right way. The sleep knows the way. It has been finding the way every night of your life. Tonight it is simply finding the way from a more deeply prepared state than the ordinary stressed evenings ordinary conditions provide. The rest response is fully engaged. The stress is at its quietest available level for the night. The rainfall is here through the crossing. It will not stop when the sleep arrives. The rainfall that has been falling through every section of tonight will continue falling through the threshold, through the first sleep cycle, through every cycle of the night. The same steady, patient, nervous system recognized sound that has been accompanying every breath of the session will accompany every breath of the sleep. The rest response will continue through the sleep. This is one of the most important things to know. The engagement of the rest response does not end when consciousness ends. The body continues responding to the conditions throughout the night. The rainfall continues providing the conditions. The deep, rest-supported sleep continues with the nervous system fully in the release state. This means the sleep that follows tonight will be different. Not just a tired body falling asleep, a released body falling asleep. A body that has been brought into the genuine rest state before the sleep arrives. A body that has been given the specific physiological conditions that allow the deeper sleep stages to be more fully reached. The deep sleep is what the stressed person most specifically needs. The slow wave sleep stages are where the most significant available restoration occurs. The stress hormones are metabolized. The nervous system is recalibrated. The body repairs what the stress has been degrading. The mind processes what the day has accumulated. All of this happens most completely when the deep sleep is reached fully. The engaged rest response allows the deep sleep to be reached more fully. This is the gift of tonight. You are being delivered gently into the kind of sleep that the stressed nervous system most specifically needs. Take a slow breath now, a complete one, letting it find its own pace, letting the exhale travel naturally, letting the pause at the bottom be inhabited briefly. The body is ready for the sleep. The rest response is ready. The rainfall is ready to continue accompanying every cycle. Good night to the body that has been faithful through every ordinary stress day, to the nervous system that has been struggling and is now released, to the heart that has been beating slightly faster than it needed to and is now finding its calmer pace, to the breath that has been a little too short for a little too long and is now complete. All of you can rest now. Good night to the part of you that has been waiting to be witnessed. That part has been witnessed tonight. Good night to the awareness that has been divided across all the things the stressed mind tracks. The awareness can rest. The thoughts can drift. The mind can release the directed quality it has been maintaining and simply be in the rainfall, which will be here through every remaining hour, regardless of where the awareness goes or how deeply it sleeps. The rainfall holds the room. The rest response holds the sleep. And the stressed person, the specific, faithful, deserving of this person who you are, is delivered into the sleep that this evening has been preparing. Let yourself go now, not by trying to sleep, simply by allowing the awareness to drift wherever it drifts, by letting the breath continue its slow, complete rhythm without managing it, by staying in the rainfall when the awareness offers itself anywhere else. The rain is here. The rain will always be here. Returning to the rain is the simplest possible thing, and eventually the returning will not be needed because the sleep will have arrived. May the night be deeply restful for you. May the morning find you more restored than the ordinary stressed morning has been finding you. Good night, my friend. Good night. The session continues now, not in the way it has been continuing, in a quieter way. The way the rainfall continues, steady and patient and present, requiring nothing from anyone, simply falling through the night, because falling is what the rain does. The words that follow tonight will be lighter than the words that came before, briefer, more spaced, the voice arriving and departing without disturbing the rest that has arrived. The rainfall carrying the session now more fully than the words, the body sleeping or very close to sleeping, the rest response fully engaged, the awareness in the specific, soft, drifting quality that belongs to the threshold and beyond. If you are already asleep, that is good. The rainfall will accompany you through every cycle of the night. the rest response will continue through the sleep. The words that follow will be received by the part of you that receives without the conscious mind's involvement, the part that hears without listening, the part that integrates what arrives quietly into the deeper restoration that the sleep is already doing. If you are not yet asleep, also good. There is no correct moment to cross. The crossing happens when the body is ready. The rainfall is here. The body is held. The rest response is doing its work. The crossing will arrive when it arrives. Either way, the session is doing its work. What follows now are simple things, not instructions, not techniques, affirmations, the specific, brief, quietly arriving statements that the resting mind receives most readily. Each one paced by the breath, each one carried by the rainfall, each one offered to the part of you that does the receiving when the conscious mind has stepped back. The rainfall is in every one of them. The stress release that the entire session has been building is in every one of them. You don't need to follow them with attention. You don't need to evaluate whether they are landing correctly. Simply let them arrive. Let them depart. The way the rain arrives on a leaf and then departs as the drip toward the layer below. Each affirmation is its own small drop in the larger rainfall. If your mind drifts somewhere else, that is welcome. The rainfall will be here when it returns. The affirmations will continue arriving. The rest response will continue its work. The stressed person who has been doing through every ordinary day has done enough. For tonight you are receiving the rainfall, the rest response, the deep release, the simple, brief statements that the resting mind absorbs near the sleep. Take a slow breath now, a simple one. The exhale finding its full completion. The pause at the bottom inhabited briefly. The next inhale arriving when it is ready. The rainfall is steady through every breath. The rest response is engaged through every breath. The deep stress release continues through every breath, and the first affirmation arrives now, quietly, with the next exhale. The rainfall is here. The rest response is engaged. The rainfall is here. I am held by the night. The rainfall is here. The stress is quieter than it was. The rainfall is here. The stress my body has been holding is releasing. The rainfall is here. The rest state is real. The rainfall is here. The deep stress release is happening. The rainfall is here. The body is in genuine rest. The rainfall is here. The breath is finding its slow, complete rhythm. The rainfall is here. The heart is at its calmest available pace. The rainfall is here. The shoulders have released what they have been carrying. The rainfall is here. The jaw is soft. The rainfall is here. The hands are warm and open. The rainfall is here. The chest is opening more fully than the stress allowed. The rainfall is here. The belly is fully breathing. The rainfall is here. The whole nervous system is releasing. The rainfall is here. I am safe in this dark. The rainfall is here. I am held by this surface. The rainfall is here. I am accompanied by this rain. The rainfall is here. I have done enough today. The rainfall is here. The carrying can stop for these hours. The rainfall is here. What I have been carrying matters. The rainfall is here. The cost has been real. The rainfall is here. Tonight the cost is being acknowledged. The rainfall is here. I am being witnessed. I am being held. I am being restored. The rainfall is here. The rest response continues through every cycle. The deep sleep is approaching gently. The rainfall will be here through every remaining hour. The rainfall is here. I have permission to rest deeply. I have permission to receive what is being offered. I have permission to be held. The rainfall is here. This moment is enough. I am enough. This moment is enough. I am enough. The rainfall is here. I am the one who has been carrying stress, and tonight the stress is being held by the rain. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I see what I have been doing. I am the one who has been carrying stress. The rainfall sees what I have been doing. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I am being witnessed tonight. I am the one who has been carrying stress. The rest response is doing its work tonight. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I am held by the heavy, steady rain. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I am held by this surface beneath me. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I am held by the night. I am the one who has been carrying stress. And tonight I am receiving the rainfall. I am receiving the deep rest. I am receiving the deep stress release. I am receiving what I have been giving to others. I have permission to receive. I have permission to set the carrying down. I have permission to be tended to. I have permission to be held. The rainfall is doing what it has always done. For the human who arrives at the night carrying stress, the rain has been here through every human night. It is here through this one. It is here for me. I am safe. I am warm. I am held. I am restored. Not completely, genuinely. The morning will receive what tonight has built. The rest response has been engaged. The deep stress release is real. This is real. Tonight is real. The restoration is real. I have done enough today. I have done enough for a long time. Tonight I rest. Tonight I rest. The rainfall is here. Tonight I rest. In the rain. In the body that has carried me faithfully. In the breath that is complete. In the rest that the release has made available. This moment is enough. I am enough. The rainfall is here. The rainfall is here. The rainfall is here. The night is held by the rain. The rainfall is here. I am held by the night. The rest response is engaged. The stress is releasing. The rainfall is here. I have permission to rest. The rainfall is doing what it has always done. For every human who has ever rested in its presence, the rainfall is here. The rain is steady and patient. The rain has all night. The rain is in no hurry. The rainfall is here. My breath is finding the rain's rhythm. My breath is completing without effort. My body is held without holding itself. The rainfall is here. The carrying has stopped for tonight. The stress is being held by the rain. What I have been carrying can be held by the rain. The rainfall is here. I have done enough today. I have done enough for a long time. Tonight the doing is complete. The rainfall is here. The deep stress release is real. The rest has been reached. The release is happening. The rainfall is here. The deep sleep is here, or very close. The body knows the way. The rest response knows the way. The rainfall is here. The morning will arrive when it arrives. The body will wake when it is ready. The morning will be different from the ordinary morning. Not completely different, genuinely different. The rainfall is here. If a thought arrives, let it become a drop. Let the rainfall carry it down. There is not a single thought I need to bring with me to sleep. Everything can be given to the rain. The rainfall is here. The body is warm. The hands are heavy. The face is soft. The rainfall is here. I am safe in this dark. I am held by this night. I am accompanied by this rain. The rainfall is here. I am the one who has been carrying stress. I am the one being tended to tonight. I am the one being witnessed. The rainfall is here. What I have been carrying matters. The cost has been real. The acknowledgement is here. The rainfall is here. The restoration is real. The rest response is active through every cycle. The breath is more complete. The body is more deeply at rest. The rainfall is here. The deep sleep is approaching. The deep sleep is here. The deep sleep is doing its work. The rainfall is accompanying the deep sleep. The rainfall is here. Through every cycle of sleep, through every remaining hour of the night, the rainfall will be here. The rainfall is here. The body is restoring. The stress is releasing through the sleep. The deep sleep stages are being reached more fully. The rainfall is here. I am safe. I am warm. I am held. I am restored. The rainfall is here. This moment is enough. I am enough. This moment is enough. I am enough. The rainfall is here. I have permission to rest deeply. I have permission to receive what is being offered. I have permission to be the one being tended to. The rainfall is here. The stressed person is welcome here. The stressed person is being held. The stressed person is being restored. The rainfall is here. I am the stressed person. I am being held. I am being restored. The rainfall is here. I am safe in the night. I am warm in the dark. I am held by the rainfall. The rainfall is here. The night is here. The rest is here. The restoration is here. The rainfall is here. I have done enough. I am enough. The rainfall is here. The morning will come. The body will be more restored. Until then, the rainfall, the steady, patient rain, through every remaining hour, through every sleep cycle, the rain, the rest, the body held, the breath complete, the stress releasing, the rainfall is here. Sleep deeply now, my friend. The rainfall will be here, through every hour, through every cycle, until the morning arrives. May the dream world be sweet for you. May you wake with peace and ease. The rainfall is here. Good night. Good night. The rainfall is here. Held, safe, warm, restored. The rainfall is here. The deep stress release continues. The rainfall is here. This moment is enough. I am enough. The rainfall is here. The rainfall is here. The rainfall is here. The rainfall is here.